down as Crawford goes to the rim. Crawford now with 16.
Wow, I just can't get over that. Plus 84 from beyond the arc, a positive for the Orlando Magic. That's just an unreal number in 4 games.
Here's Petrus. That one doesn't fall, and Josh Smith looks ahead to Crawford. Crawford has it denied by Lewis. It'll be Hawk basketball with 3:51 remaining. The Magic, they right now are in tune with that three-point line. 15-33. Joe Johnson checking out with the boos ringing out after his comments.
Yeah.
Couldn't care less if they showed up or not, speaking about the fans. And of course, he kind of came back and said, look, it was out of frustration. And what will the future hold for Joe Johnson? All-NBA player and an all-star. 5 seasons in Atlanta. Part of that free agent class. Lewis, no. Howard battling for the rebound, and he gets fouled. 3:22 to go. A lot of decisions coming up for this Atlanta Hawk franchise. Kevin, you have Joe Johnson. This is a team that went to the second round last season, as well as this season, swept last season. On the verge of getting swept here. And there's so much speculation even about the future of Mike Woodson, worked in the final year of his contract.
Yeah, a lot of questions. I agree. I mean, Joe Johnson is going to be a very sought-after free agent. I mean, Mike Woodson's done a nice job with this team. They've improved every one of the last 5 years, and Woody's pushed them hard and trying to get the most out of them. And you see a series like this, and you just run into a really, really hot team. And I think that Dwight misses 2 free throws there. You run into a really, really hot team, and what it does, it brings out a lot of your faults, And in this team, there's just not enough, ball handling, not enough movement of the ball and stuff. A little too much one-on-one. But again, they had a very, very successful year this year. Just absolutely ran into just a buzzsaw in the Orlando Magic.
Atlanta as the 3rd seed. Orlando the 2nd seed. Under 3 minutes remaining. Lewis off the dribble. Rashard Lewis takes it right to the hole.
Can't say enough about how well he's played, Rashard Lewis, in this series. And, actually in both series, the Charlotte series and this series, putting the ball on the floor, attacking the rim, making threes, just really, really in tune and playing very well.
Josh Smith. Lewis was 17, 8 in the quarter. The general manager of the Orlando Magic, one of the things that he said, Otis Smith, heading into this season, one of the reasons why he felt he needed to change Vince Carter, Hedo Turkoglu out, he said, you can't stand still in this league. If you do, you'll be going backward. And they are not going backwards, folks. Petrus, Air France, another 3. 16 made threes.
Oh, wow. I mean, time to take Dwight Howard out of the game. Got to call off the Dogs. Another rebound by Dwight. And just get in the reserves here a little bit and enjoy it. And again, like I said, I get timeout by Orlando to make some substitutions to try to slow the clock down and get Gortat in for Howard.
All Orlando.
Ernie Johnson, Studio J in Atlanta. In a little over 15 minutes, we'll be taken to Salt Lake City for Game 4 between the Lakers and the Jazz. In his last 4 playoff games, Kobe has scored 32, 31, 30, and 35. And the Lakers trying to close out the Jazz in our TNT nightcap. Now let's get back to what they call the highlight factory.
Ernie, all the highlights belong to Orlando. 98-77 with 150 left in this Game 4. And the Magic will sweep the Atlanta Hawks. They swept Charlotte, and now they're going to sit back and they'll wait for the outcome of Cleveland-Boston. And a turnover, and Crawford lays it up and through. The most three-pointers made by Orlando in the postseason, 17 against Cleveland, May 26, 2009. Anderson's shot doesn't go. They've made 16 here tonight. The most ever in a playoff is 20 by Seattle. That's the NBA record. Count it. And Randolph Morris will head to the free throw line. And so now you look ahead, Cleveland, Boston against the Orlando Magic.
Orlando's not changing anything they're doing. They're going to go out there. They're going to run pick and roll. They're going to get Howard to the front of the rim. They're going to shoot a ton of threes. They're going to load up on the defensive end. They're going to be a tough out. I look at it and I think that the one thing that both teams have, though, they have people that will attack Howard more. You put LeBron James with a little bit of head of steam. He's coming in on Howard, and he can finish over the top of him. Rondo's very clever in there, and it'll be a great series no matter who Orlando plays. But right now, the way Orlando's playing, they have so much confidence, playing so well together, and playing so well on the defensive end. They match up great, Matt, against either team, against either Cleveland or Boston. But each team that they potentially could play is going to bring some different aspects to the game. They're both good defensive teams, Boston and Cleveland, and that LeBron factor is hard to put a figure on that, what that guy's capable of doing.
Game 5 tomorrow night on TNT. Orlando during the regular season 2-2 against Cleveland, 3-1 against Boston. 98-82, another blowout by Orlando. Defensively, they have just been spectacular during the playoffs. No one's even been close to what they've done defensively. Boston's the closest, and that's plus 10. So the Magic just getting it done. Pachulia at the free throw line.
Yeah, the Magic's not only stepped up their offense, they've really stepped up their defense. They're doing a great job on the defensive end, and just not allowing teams to get away from them, not allowing teams to score many points against them.
This will go down as the most lopsided series in NBA history with the margin of victory. 98-84. Orlando with the sweep. They move on to the Eastern Conference Finals in consecutive years. The Magic take care of the Atlanta Hawks. Our producer, Mike Burks, director, Rich Russo, associate director, Jeff Randolph, associate producer, Alvin Whitney, graphic coordinators, Donzel Floyd, Darren Foster, statistician, Paul Evans, of course, Hall of Famers, Cheryl Miller and Kevin McHale. 98-84. And for the first time ever, Vince Carter will move on to the conference finals. Kevin?
In the closing game, Vince played very, very well for Orlando, as did many Orlando Magic players. They played well all series, and they played well. They had a tough series against Charlotte, but they played so good defensively against Charlotte. They come into this series, and they find their offense, but their defense doesn't take one step back. And again, like I said, whoever's going to play these guys in the conference finals have their hands full.
Orlando outscored Atlanta by a total of 101 points.
In 4 games.
In 4 games, as we send it over to Cheryl Miller.
Well, Dwight, say congratulations to Jamal Crawford, but just coming into the series, a lot of people were wondering, was rest going to be an issue? Talk about complete domination. You guys were clicking on all cylinders.
We just been working hard every day in practice to get better. And we just got to continue to do that, if we want to win the championship. And I just like the way this team is just out here playing hard as we can and staying humble at the same time.
Jay Will was saying this is such a close-knit team on and off the court. Talk about your chemistry.
Well, we do everything together. And I think that's what helps us on the court. We talk a lot. We spend a lot of time together, and we just talk about life. And then when we get on the court, we're able to, take what we do off the court and put it on the court.
Your next opponent obviously will be the winner between Cleveland or Boston. Just describe both these teams and the problems they may present.
Both of those teams are great. You got the 3 Hall of Famers on one team, and then you got LeBron James, Shaq, and the rest of the crew, on the other team. So, it's going to be tough, but, we're going to keep working, and we're going to stay humble.
All right, thanks for your time. Matt, listen back to you.
I appreciate it, Cheryl. Dwight Howard and the Magic move on once again to the Eastern Conference Finals. Our final score, 98-84. Coming up next, it's Game 4, Lakers and Jazz. For Kevin McHale, Cheryl Miller, and the rest of the crew, I'm Matt Devlin saying good night from Atlanta. You've been watching the NBA on TNT, exclusive home of the 2010 Western Conference Finals. After a quick break, we'll send it to Ernie Johnson and the guys in the studio right after this. It was all Orlando, and Dwight's mom knew it.